April Fool's Day will be 33 days since the start of the latest set of US-Israeli attacks on Iran on the 28th of February 2026. Does this signify a peace deal on that day, or does it signify a significant escalation with US ground troops invading the all-important Kharg Island? Predictably, on the 33rd day and April Fool's Day, Trump has a major prime-time war update tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Kharg Island is known as the Forbidden Island. Will Trump be the fool and eat the forbidden fruit and take the island on April Fool's Day? Or is he playing an April Fool's joke on us all and he will declare peace instead? What a surprise this critical decision is today of all days. April Fool's Day, 33 days into the conflict. It shows who is really in charge. Looking at the date the latest set of attacks on Iran started, the 28th of February 2026, the very same day of the planetary alignment of 6 planets. Mercury, Venus, Jupiter and Saturn visible with the naked eye, and Uranus and Neptune with binoculars or telescope. Israel Rivera Diego Genius, who is now back on YouTube making videos under the channel name The Artist's Perspective, predicted this attack on this very day based on the planetary alignment. They tend to do things when the stars line up. This is a rare event, the next 6 planetary alignment being in February 2034. 28 is 2 8s. 2026 is also 2 8s, 2 and 2 plus 6. This, I believe, symbolises Revelation chapter 8 verse 8, which is La Palma, the burning mountain falling into the sea. The same day, the Palm Jumeirah Fairmont Hotel was hit by an Iranian missile. Jumeirah comes from the Arabic word Jumr, meaning burning embers. There's the connection with both La Palma and the burning embers of the volcano which will collapse. February, is of course the second month of the year, 112 in Roman numerals, the theme of 11 or 11, the Twin Towers, which, as Rick Clay showed in 2008, symbolises the coming age of Aquarius, as the beast system which causes all these wars is exposed. Kharg Island is 25 kilometres off the coast of Iran and 660 kilometres northwest of the Strait of Hormuz, which of course is the central location this entire conflict and narrative around oil prices and inflation revolves around. 25 is 2 5s, 511, 5th of November, and 66 is of course 2 times 33. Kharg in English gematria is 270, which is 27 as you don't count the zeros in gematria. 27, as we have seen before, is 3 cubed. 33, showing us who's behind all of this. 27 is also 2 7s. In Roman numerals, that is 2 511s. Remember, the 5th of November, when the fireworks and I believe La Palma tsunami will set off. Kharg in simple gematria is 45, which is 5 times 9, which is 5th of November. November being the 9th month of the old Roman calendar. Kharg in Hebrew gematria is 106, which is 2 times 53. 53 is the 16th prime number, which is 511, so that is 2 511s. Remember, the 5th of November. The words Kharg Island is 270 in Hebrew gematria, the old 2s and 7s again, 7. It is also 104 in simple gematria, which is 52 times 2, which is 2 7s, 7. And finally, in English gematria, Kharg Island is 624, which is what's called a Harshad number, which is a number which is divisible by the sum of its digits. In this case, the sum of its digits is 12, 6 plus 2 plus 4, and 624 divided by 12 is 52. The sum of its digits, 12, is a very special number culturally and spiritually. For example, 12 hours in the clock, the 12 disciples, and the 12 constellations of the zodiac. And 52, of course, is the old 2s and 5s again, 511. Kharg Island is predicted programming for the 5th of November, when the fireworks and I think tsunami will hit. I think 2027 is the year. 2027 is encoded by the compass in the Freemasonic square and compass. A compass draws a circle, and the constant associated with circles, pi, is 3.14, which, as we learnt at school, can be approximated by 22/7. That, I believe, is what the compass represents. Pi is symbolized numerous times in IPEC Goat 2, as the YouTuber Theology Ed showed, most obviously when the ointment the weeping Arabic mother is holding aligns with the nuclear mushroom cloud in the background as the screen pans across, precisely at 3 minutes 14 seconds into the film. The ointment represents alchemy. 2027 is the Chinese Year of the Goat, and IPEC Goat 2 starts with a goat in a prison camp, showing us the suffering really starts then. In the Alice in Wonderland scene, in which, as I have said in previous videos, I believe the 12 figures represent the last 12 years of suffering in this age between 2024 and 2035 before the new age of Aquarius as represented by Alice in 2036. If they are in left to right order, 2027 is the fourth figure from the left. I will do a year-by-year breakdown of these figures in another video, but in essence, here you see the timeline. Focusing just on 2027 for this video, whilst it looks like the second figure from the left, 2025, represents war and tsunami with its big mushroom cloud and waves, you see the waves actually flow from the legs of the fourth figure into the second figure. The second figure looks like a Super Bowl trophy, and Super Bowl 59 happened in 2025 at the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans. 59 represents the 5th of November, and New Orleans, of course, was flooded by Hurricane Katrina in 2005. Again, the theme of 2 and 5, 5/11, and the flood. And of course, in 2005, we also had 7/7. Caesar's Superdome is very significant as Trump is Caesar, as shown by Israel Diego Rivera Genius, who's now called The Artist's Perspective on YouTube. And the Superdome symbolizes war and tsunami, which will make big dome-shaped waves and mushroom clouds. We had the first set of attacks on Iran in 2025, so the linking between the second and the fourth figures show how the war with Iran starts in 2025 and culminates with all-out war, world war and tsunami in 2027, and specifically the big date being the 5th of November. Trump has announced an important war update at 2 p.m. Eastern Time today, April Fool's Day, 33 days into the second set of attacks after the 12-day conflict last year, which is 45 days of conflict in total, which is 5 times 9, 5th of November. Either peace will be announced today, fooling us all, or Trump is the fool by sending troops into Kharg Island to seize the oil. Either way, I don't believe we're at all-out World War III yet, which I believe is set for 2027. Things will start to really deteriorate at the midterm elections in November this year, 2026, as Trump goes full dictator mode. Then it all goes horribly wrong in 2027, with the solar eclipse on the 2nd of August 2027 directly over Egypt being the omen for the tsunami and war. 2nd of August, of course, being 2/8, a reference to Revelation chapter 8, verse 8, La Palma. Luxor is the site of ancient Thebes, the glorious capital during Egypt's New Kingdom between 1550 and 1070 BC. It was the religious center for their god Amun-Ra, a merging of the air god Amun and the sun god Ra. Aquarius is an air sign, so this eclipse is about the coming age of Aquarius as the sun moves into Aquarius at the vernal equinox. From the pyramids, it will be a partial 95% eclipse, interestingly 5/9. And this is shown in the IPEC Goat 2 Bin Laden scene, where Bin Laden, in his CIA-branded jacket, calls for jihad under the partial eclipse, backed by pyramid-looking troops under a partial eclipse through clouds in the shape of a scorpion's tail, showing the link with Scorpio and specifically the 5th of November, the apex or sting in Scorpio's tail. Of course, as discussed in a previous video, the 5th of November is shown so obviously in IPEC Goat 2 in the scene where the tanks approach a Southeast Asian girl, anti-nuclear protester waving a white flag, surrounded by structures that resemble waves. At that point, what looks to be a mummified skeleton with a top hat taps the girl on the shoulder and blows a party blower, and the fireworks set off. The top hat represents London, the centre of global Freemasonry, which conducts the orchestra. Now, when I analysed this scene in my first ever video on the subject back in 2024, I mistakenly thought the party popper and fireworks set off at the 3 minutes 44 to 3 minutes 45 mark, which is 224 and 225 seconds into the film, which made me connect it to 2024 and 2025. But looking at it now, the fireworks set off just after the 3 minutes 46 mark, with this party popper fully unrolling at 3 minutes 47, which is of course 226 and 227 seconds into the film. This indicates the fireworks starting in 2026 and culminating with the party popper being blown and unrolling, symbolising the waves of the tsunami striking in 2027 and specifically on Bonfire Night, 5th of November. Thank you.